Perhaps today will be the day. The day your life begins. The day you feel part of the whole rather than an appendage. Than someone eternally on the periphery. Perhaps today you will find yourself holding an infant for the first time. Or resting peacefully in the sun. Perhaps today you'll call your mother just to make sure you remember her voice.
Mom, what time is it?
The way she's sure to remember yours.
I'm late for school.
Maybe today you won't step on any cracks in the sidewalks. Or cry for no reason.
No reason.
Perhaps today you will treat yourself to a fine meal. Or find yourself with an unquenchable thirst.
Unquenchable.
Perhaps today you will meet someone you will love. Perhaps kiss someone for the last time. Today you might find yourself lost, unbearably alone. Perhaps today you will not interfere. Watch as the traffic goes by. Perhaps today you will grasp for control. Perhaps today you will fall to your knees and pray. Perhaps today you will abandon all sins. Perhaps today will be the day you remember to live.
By the time I was 14, I had seen 7 tornadoes. 3 of those tornadoes came to me in a single day. The first spun horizontal, forever threatening to touch down, dipping over us until it swept back up into the sky as if it had never existed at all. The other 2 did not.
Conflict. We, as a world of beings, are in perpetual conflict. Right now, there's very little accord, even in a room as static and orderly as this one. Some of you are still reeling from last night, either too much alcohol, too much studying, or perhaps too much sex. I do remember undergrad. Because of whatever excess you have indulged or inflicted upon your bodies, you are in physical conflict with yourselves. You are fighting boredom, nausea, brain-shattering headache, hangover, just to be sitting here listening to me. Now, some of you might have more philosophical or psychological conflicts within this very room. Perhaps you hate authority. I am an elected authority figure, but an authority figure nonetheless, and you distrust and resent me. That's okay. Perhaps you do not agree with the political views I have expressed. They do not gel with your upbringing or what you know of the world. Perhaps you hate the subject matter at hand. Now, this is gruesome stuff, and your parents have protected you from it. And yet here I stand, twice a week, 75 minutes at a spell, exposing you to facts, images, ideas that will forever alter your ability to sleep soundly in the dead of night, to eat a fine meal, or to go to the movies, even. These, you randy academics, are just some of the conflicts that are present, yet largely unacknowledged, at any given moment within the hallowed walls of this university.
The day of the 3 tornadoes was a heavy day, one that made chest bones constrict and ankles turn inward with the weight of the air. I had been picking beans with my grandmother who was visiting from Tupelo. She was wearing a gingham house dress and blue tennis sneakers that had belonged to my aunt, Trini. Grandma was young still, and her nails, they were painted orange. A tornado is a magnificent thing. There is a sense that no matter how far away it is, it's coming for you. Such noise, such renting. When you have heard a sound like that, it's as if silence has never existed and never will again. times that I wish they had. They came from opposite directions. One came from the east and one from the west. And the one from the east tore past Grandma and me as we ran towards the shelter. And we didn't make it, but it was fine because it looked and felt closer than it actually was. And Grandma covered my face with both her hands, orange nails and all. And she wrapped me tight into her, so that all that I could hear was the sound of the thing as it went by.
What would it take to rip the fabric of our lives apart? Conflict. Like we said earlier, we live in conflict in perpetuity. Anyone else? Yes, you're in the back. Chaos. Oh, that's a good one. Chaos. Okay, well, you know, some would say that chaos is what has made us. It's a destructive force, but one that's also regenerative, right? You have that maelstrom, that dervish, all that frenetic energy, and then in the stillness of the aftermath, rebirth. I think there needs to be something that precludes that madness, that crazed energy, something as simple as a piece of paper blowing away in the wind. Any ideas? Yes, in the back. Power outage, okay? Car accident, all right? A bullet, okay, or a trigger. It's just ripping, renting, shredding the fabric of our lives apart, and just like that, everything you have, everything you own, everything you love fragments. This particular class is about war. Now, I have a few things that I can tell you about war, but at this stage of the game, what really just plain out confounds me is intervention from the Latin interventio, meaning and giving a security. They're coming in between, and there's the other word. Or for our purposes, in between the coming. My question is, who here has the courage to stand and face that thing as it comes at you? I am not just talking about war, I am talking about love, tragedy, loss, grief, weather, blights. They're those things that wreck our days, weeks, months, our years. Now, it's a crisis if you see that thing coming at you, and once you know it's out there, you can always sort of be ready for it, and it can blindside you. But what do you do when that thing comes at you? Do you want someone to step in, stop it if she could, or this chaos? Do you accept the eventual rebirth as necessary, even if it means the loss of your present self? That's enough brainwashing for today. We'll see you next time.
Hi. I've studied maps for years. At first, it was just atlases and road maps, ways to get out and ways to get back. More complex cartography followed. Representations of places I had not yet been, places that I'd never been, but that I hope to visit. Raised mountains, dense steppes, blue snaking lines. The negotiation of area, the vastness of space, the relation of a tree to the horizon, of a body to the tree, to the horizon, of a shoe to the body, to the tree, to the horizon. The progressive relation, or the progression of relation, of a small, minute thing to all that is greater than it. These are good reasons for maps. But there are more good reasons. Maps exist so the way can be found, the way to get there, to be there, the way to see or be seen. That way, being lost will never be a reality. There will always be a way to get to some place, or to get away from someone I don't care to be, or someone I don't care to be around. With a map and a decent compass, there will always be a way to avoid unpleasant uncertainties. I wanted to be away from home for years. Fewer years than I've studied maps, but years nonetheless. I've charted my way across the continent, across parts of the globe, but not all of it. And as much as I have intended for the places I've dreamed of visiting to be finite, to be destinations, I've come to see that they could only ever have been way stations, points leading me to some point else, points leading me back to this particular point. Longitude 73 degrees, latitude 43 degrees. Home. Traveling, and I know it will only bring me back home, seems sort of useless, especially with Quint's so small. So, I never left, despite myself, despite my rampant and raging desire to be gone, because what I had thought for so long to be a series of connected angular movements has revealed itself to be a circle.